Hi everyone, FPLMattDay here, and this is my Euro 2024 Fantasy Group B preview. If you're new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button, give the video a like, and get any comments and questions and thoughts in ready for this preview of Group B, which features another 4 sides, which I will share screen with you shortly. This is going to have my best picks in here as well, and some of my tips for the FPL, the Euro version of fantasy football, sorry, not FPL. And if you want to join my mini league, capital T A lowercase I, capital T V and A, you can see it in the banner at the bottom. See if you can beat me at FPLMattDay Original League. So I'm going to share screen and just go through the Group B first of all. So as you can see now on screen, 4 nations: Spain, one of the favourites probably, as always, for the tournament. They play great football, lots of talent in there. Croatia always do really well. I feel like they're due, a tournament win at some stage, but some of their best players are probably coming towards the end. Italy, the holders, you just never know what you're going to get with Italy of late. People feel like they lack a bit of star power, but they're always very organised defensively. And then you've got Albania, the wild card, maybe the dark horse, not really fancied in this one, which is probably a bit of a group of death for them. So let's go into the first team we're going to preview. So we'll just stop sharing that one and we will share again. And we're going to preview the best picks from Spain. Spain did win the tournament in 2012 and Euro 2008. They had some great picks back then. The likes of David Villa, Fernando Torres were all fantastic. So let's look at Spain. First up against Croatia. And we'll just zoom in a little bit there. Alvaro Morata leads the line for Spain. Always very handy in UEFA games, in Champions League fantasy, and always in a Spain shirt. Does miss a lot of chances, but chances do fall his way a lot. Spain create a lot of chances. They play great football. 3% selected. If you want to break that mold of the template front three, he's someone to bring in. And then you got this guy here, Olmo, 7.5 million, 6% selected. Potential bargain in this tournament. Someone else that's shown a lot of form in a Spain shirt. And we've seen how good he's been in Champions League fantasy. Nico Williams, if he can get starts, had a great season at Bilbao this season as well, helping them win the Copa del Rey. Another real strong potential. And then Ferran Torres, currently only 1% selected, but he's another one at tournament level and at international level. He finds the net. He finds ways to score goals. So for me, I'm going to say midfielders, Ferran Torres and Olmo are probably my favourite two. The likes of Williams is an outside bet. You got Oyarzabal there as well. He's a bit more expensive, but I'd still be backing Torres and Olmo over him. And then you've got Alvaro Morata if you want to break that front line. But we'll scroll down. Rodri, 6.5 million, 24% selected. Huge ownership so far. That is because for every 3 ball recoveries, you get a point. And at 6.5 million, you might come out of a game with Rodri. He could get, 6 ball recoveries. That's 2 points, a clean sheet point, a couple of appearance points. Does love the assist and the odd goal as well. And he could come out with some big points at 6.5 million. So let's scroll down further into these Spanish picks. Got Gavi, the youngster. Again, probably good when it comes to those assist ball recoveries. But still think Rodri's the better pick there. In defence, Pedro Porro's there, but he's been dropped by Spain. He's not been picked, so you can't pick him. But Carvajal, we saw how good he was for Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League final. Definitely an option at 5.5 million, currently 5% selected. And we'll scroll down a little bit further just to see what else Spain have to offer. A lot of people are keen on Grimaldo at 20% owned. We know how good he's been in UEFA games as well. So for me, Carvajal and Grimaldo are probably my favourite picks there. When it comes to the defence. If David Raya gets the number 1 spot, 5 million isn't a bad price as well, but I'd probably focus more on one of those fullbacks in Grimaldo or Carvajal. And Grimaldo is probably my favourite there. So that's Spain. Lots of value in them, as you can see. Let's go to Croatia now. So let's just find Croatia here in the list. Always a couple of great picks here from Croatia. So let's go into their side. We'll scroll to the top. And let's see what they've got to offer this year. Luka Modric, 12% selected. Always impressive in a Croatia shirt. Does score goals at international level, but again, I think at 7.5 million, there's better value out there. Pasalic, Kovacic, Perisic, all very low owned. Again, you're probably looking at ball recoveries from the likes of Kovacic. Perisic is always a great option for Croatia. He normally comes in as a defender, and people manage to buy him in the game as someone that plays in a midfield or a front three. And he does tend to get that front three for Croatia. He's coming off the back of an injury, though, missed most of the season with Spurs, but was on good form at the start of it. If he gets his place back in the Croatia team in a front three off the left, he's just brilliant in a Croatia shirt. He could be really good at 1% selected currently in 6.5 million euros. So always a potential bargain in there. Let's scroll down as well. We've got Brozovic in there, always a popular pick for Croatia. Let's keep going down. I probably wouldn't go to too many of their sort of forward players. I think there's just so many better options in the game. Vida, he's always been a good defensive option for Croatia. 1% owned again. If he's nailed to start, could be a bit of an enabler maybe in the Albania game. But I don't think we're of previous years where there was the likes of Cerna and Chorluka in those fullback roles. So I'd probably sort of end it at those picks I mentioned before in Perisic and Modric for now. Tough group for Croatia. Let's go to the former or current holders. So previous winners, current holders in Italy. Always expect big things from Italy, big footballing nation. And there's some really good picks here in that defense. And this man here, DiMarco, 5 million, really good in UEFA games, UEFA Champions League for Inter Milan. For me, he's the best defender pick in the game, in my opinion. I just think he's so good, can play either side. He's attacking, has an eye for goal, can get assists as well. Then you've got Jorginho at 10% owned. Highly owned because a lot of people expect him to remain on pens, but he has missed, I think, his last 3 or 4 for Italy. So we might see a bit of a change in pens, which I'll talk about in a second. But that's why he's popular. If we see that he's on pens with his ball recoveries, and 5 million is a bargain as your 5th midfielder enabler. Spinazzola as well was so good in Euro 2020, but there could be problems in that fullback position for Italy with DiMarco being so popular. But you've also got this man here who we will bring up, Di Lorenzo, 10% owned at 5.5 million. Probably that little bit more nailed. Brilliant in Euro 2020. So he's also a great pick as well. Another player, Pessina, we saw what he could do in the Euro 2020 as well. Again, it depends on minutes. But another player that's definitely caught my eye. I'll bring him up now. And he could be here at the top of the screen. Let's find him. It's not him. It's Pellegrini at 7.5 million. And this Albania game first up. He's been finding the net in regular season, in the club season, finds the net in an Italy shirt, did score in one of their most recent games. So really good pick, I think, at 3% owned. And then Chiesa is the same price. So that's probably where people will be a little bit more tempted. Again, great player in Euro 2020. And then you've got Immobile below him, 7.5 million, might take penalty duties over from Jorginho. Again, solid pick if you want to break that front three. And then we've also got Barrea in there. You've got Donnarumma, who is always a popular choice. But for me, I'd be looking towards maybe one of Chiesa and Pellegrini, and definitely one of those defenders out of DiMarco, Di Lorenzo, Spinazzola, depending on what sort of intel we get on who's definitely going to start. But for me, DiMarco is my favourite pick there. Now let's go to the last team in the group. And unfortunately, it's similar to the Scotland situation in my Group A preview. And we're not going to spend too much time on Albania. They are in a group of death. It's difficult for them. So we'll go through their team here. You can see here right from the very top here. Let's do it by selected by. You've got Kambula, 8% owned. Again, enabler defender at that price. A lot of people like to try and get starting defenders in their team. But I just wouldn't back an Albania defender in these types of fixtures. If there's any that maybe might have an aerial threat, that set pieces are so big in these tournaments, then there is that potential. You've got Aligi there as well in defence. Strakosha, if he gets to start, or Berisha, depending on which goalkeeper they go for. 4 million bargain goalkeepers where they can get those save points. Obviously, every 3 saves is an extra point. But if you go outside of that, pretty much every player is 0% selected. There is not much people are looking to choose from this Albania team, which does mean if you pick one of these players and they do score, or they get an assist, or they get some good ball recoveries, or they get the 3 bonus for man of the match, you are going to climb your mini leagues and your global rank. So let's stop sharing the screen there. That is my fantasy for Euro 2024 Group B preview. Let me know what you think in the comments. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. And I will see you all in the next one for the Group C preview with my best picks as well. That will come this week all the way until we've done Group F. I'm FPLMattDay. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.